こんにちは、皆さん。今日、私たちは日本語を勉強しています。質問があれば私に聞いてください。Greetings, everyone. Today we're studying Japanese. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask me at any time. Want to continue with immersion with Card Captor Sakura?
ともよちゃんのお母さんは大きなおもちゃ会社の社長さんなの。すっごく忙しくてともよちゃんと会えない日もあるみたい。私もともよちゃんのお母さんには会ったことがないんだ。
私もともよちゃんのお母さんには会ったことがないんだ。私もともよちゃんのお母さんには会ったことがないんだ。So I also haven't met Tomoyo-chan's mother.
私もともよちゃんのお母さんには会ったことがないんだ。だから楽しみ。
だから楽しみ。So it'll be fun. So I'm looking forward to it, so it'll be fun. Okay. だから楽しみ。
私もともよちゃんのお母さんには会ったことがないんだ。だから楽しみ。そういえばともよちゃんって全然お父さんの話はしないな。
そういえば、ともよちゃんって、全然、お父さんの、あお父さんの話はしないな。Let's see. Let's. If I say that, uh, oh, as for Tomoyo-chan, uh, conversation about her father has not been done at all. So in other words, I haven't heard her speak about her father at all. If I say that, I haven't heard her speak about her father at all. Let's see, and the translator would put this as. Come to think of it, Tomoe-chan never talks about her dad at all. A lot better way of putting it, but in the grammar of this. Soyeba, here you go. Okay. Soiba is soieba is a hypothetical structure in Japanese consisting of so like that and the ba conjunctive form of the u verb iu to say. Common translations include speaking of which, by the way, come to think of it. These translations are actually very close to the literal translation of if saying that, in that they all refer back to the previous statement as being the trigger for bringing up the topic the speaker wants to discuss. The soieba will primarily appear at the beginning of a sentence before the speaker will then bring up the topic that they were reminded of. Okay, so soieba kono mai karita hon yomi owatta mechakucha omoshiro ka. By the way, I finished reading the book I borrowed from you the other day. It was super interesting. Soieba oyastan ni yachin furi konde kurete. Speaking of which, did you transfer the rent to the landlord for me? Let's see. Soieba saki eki. Let's see. Soieba saki eki de okasan no tomodachi ni atta yo yoroshiku datte. Speaking of which, I met your friend at the station. She told me to tell you. She said hi. Let's see. Due to Soieba referring to something that has already been brought up over the course of the conversation, it will not be used to move on to completely unrelated topics. And this, in the same way that phrases like "by the way" are used in English. Okay, fun fact: Soieba is very similar in the way it is used to Toieba, with so simply replacing the direct quotation to. Many textbooks will list both as a single grammar point, despite Soieba itself basically being a set phrase. Soieba Tomoyo Soieba Tomoyo-chanって全然お父さんの話はしないな。
から楽しみ。そういえばともよちゃんって全然お父さんの話はしないな。そろそろ行かなきゃ。見ててね。
そろそろ行かなきゃ見ててね。So, 行かなきゃ is short for 行かなければ, either that or short for 行かなければいけません. And then let's see, 見てて. So, seeing, so if you don't go seeing, okay, the fact that something's after it probably means this is probably just a former, it's just 行かなければ. So, if you don't go seeing, and then Soro. Soon, before long, anytime now, momentarily. Let's see. I have to go now. See you later. So, Soto is like soon before long. Sooner before long, if I don't go. Then, so that somehow means I have to go now. And then mitete ne. See you later. Explain the grammar of soon, presently, before long. Okay. Ikana kya, the contraction of oh, I see. These are two phrases. So ikana kya actually is a contraction of either ikana is actually a contraction of ikana kereba ikimasen. Though in this case, I think the nadu word might be. Let's see. It was naranai. That's what it was. Yeah, naranai. I think because this is based off of a scheduled event in the public, I think naranai would actually be a more appropriate word for it. So this would be short for ikana kereba naranai. Since you tend to use naranai for like standards set by society when you have to do something, and ikemasen for things standards set by yourself. So, in a short moment, I have to go. Okay, that makes sense. And then mitete ne. See, mitete ne. This is a casual question meaning please keep watching. Okay, but the translator says it's supposed to be see you later. Hmm. Miru to watch momentarily, and then miteru to be watched in continuous. Conjugated into the continuous form miteru into the te form for a request results in miteite. In casual conversation, the e is often dropped, resulting in mitete. The speaker is informing the listener that they need to leave shortly and is asking listener to continue watching. Maybe the translator's wrong on this. Let's see. Could she be saying... Actually, let me ask the first question. Explain conjugating to the form for a request. Let's see, to form a request using tag form, you conjugate a verb based on its group. Okay. Oh, is this supposed to be like short for mitete kudasai? So this in casual speech, when the tag form is combined with idu to indicate a continuous state like keep watching. Okay, the e is often dropped but called inuki kotoba. Okay, the standard mite tag form to be watching of miteru. Casual contraction mitete. Okay, that is why mitete ne is the casual request of please continue watching. Okay, so reason she's putting mite ite into continuous form is because it's even more casual way of saying mitete kudasai. So if that's the case, then that would have to mean something like please continue, please watch. But we'll see how they respond later on. So let's see. Sora sora ikanakia mitete ne.
そろそろ行かなきゃ見ててね。ここで応援してますわ。
ここで応援 aid assistance してます。cheering, rooting, yes. 応援してます。So okay. So I'll be cheering from here. I'll cheer from here. So 応援 okay. ここで応援してますわ。
そろそろ行かなきゃ見ててね。ここで応援してますわ。本当に可愛いな。
本当に可愛いな。truly cute.
そろそろ行かなきゃ見ててね。ここで応援してますわ。本当に可愛いな。そうだよな。さて。してますわ。本当に可愛いな。そうだよ。
Let's see. そうだよね。Okay. そうだよな。That's so true.
本当に可愛いな。そうだよな。さてと。可愛いな。そうだよな。さてと。
さてと。 さてと、well then, さてと、I wonder if this is a contraction of sa, like well, and then the quotative particle to, and let's see. What is the origin of sateto? Let's translate it as well then. Well, now let's see. So sate, a transitional particle meaning now then or well, and to, a quotative particle used to express a thought, intention, or rhetorical question. Add a nuance of self-talk or decision-making. Okay, so this is her like internal thought, so that's why the to is there. And it's just sate, like well. That's how someone would say well in English. Sate, okay, well, now, okay then. Sate to.
応援してますわ。本当に可愛いな。そうだよな。さてと、準備 OK ですわ。
Junbi okay desu wa. Junbi. Isn't that preparations? Preparations, yes. Meishi noun, sudo verb. Junbi okay desu wa. Preparations to be okay. Let's see. Okay. Noun, sudo verb. So I'm all set. Or Junbi okay desu wa. Oh. Semi. Equip provision preparations. Proportionate imitate correspond to Junbi. Oh, konnichiwa. Kitten ka genki desu ka?
そうだよな。さてと、準備 OK ですわ。さくらちゃんの勇姿をビデオに収めねば。
Sakura-chan no. Juicy. Let's see. Majestic figure, imposing figure, impressive appearance, magnificent appearance. made from the kanji of masculine, male hero, leader, superiority, excellence, and figure form. In this case, it's meaning majestic figure or impressive appearance. So, Jubi. Sakura-chan no Jubi o video ni osamaneba. Let's see, osameru. To put into, to put away, to put back in, to keep in. Let's see, transitive, to include, to achieve, okay. To include in an anthology catalog, to contain, to publish, to capture on film. Okay, so let's see, what would video be used with ni instead of de if video is like a method? Let's see, Sakura-chan's majestic figure. Let's say if I video Sakura-chan's majestic figure, or I have to capture Sakura-chan's historic figure on video. Or heroic figure on video. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Explain the grammar of Yushi. Okay. And Osameru. See, Osamereba should be if I captured on video. See, verb soreba. Modern. Let's see, modern equivalent. Nakereba. Naranai. Oh, wait. This is the positive form. Why would it be negative? Reba expresses strong obligation or necessity, translates to must or have to. Oh, that's not reba, that's neba. Let's see. Yeah, not ni nu ne. Okay, so neba. Osameru becomes Osame neba. They say this is a contraction of nakereba naranai or neba naranai. Okay, when a sentence ends with neba, the second half of the condition statement is omitted. See, the full logical thought is if I don't capture this, something bad will happen, or it will be a tragedy, or I cannot be satisfied. This truncation adds dramatic flair, urgency, or sense of mission. It implies I must capture this, or else it would be unforgivable. Okay. Using neba instead of the standard nakereba narimasen. See, changes the tone significantly. Literary, formal. It sounds archaic, formal, or written. You will often find it in novels and historical dramas. Dramatic, emphatic. In modern casual conversation, using this form is often done for comedic effect or to sound overly passionate about a trivial task, like recording a friend. Self-imposed duty. It is frequently reflects speaker's internal resolve rather than an external rule. Okay. Where does neba come from? Why is it used instead of nakya? Neba originates, let's see, from classical Japanese bungo. It is a conditional form of the classic negative, let's see, auxiliary verb zu, which functions similarly to modern nai. The auxiliary zu attaches to the irrealist form misen kei of a verb to make it negative, so iku becomes ika plus zu, so ikazu. Conditional conjugation in classical Japanese, to make a condition if the final u of the verb is changed to e and then plus ba. So zu negative becomes ne. Aurelius conditions stem shift plus ba, so neba. Literally, if one does not. Okay, over time, this classical phrase, let's see, neba naranai, if not done, were not to, evolves into the modern formal structure. So in other words, it's to sound more archaic, essentially, or literary, archaic or literary, or to sound more extreme, since you're using a more archaic form of it. Let's see, so the choice between neba and nakya is purely a tone, register, and dramatic effect, as both mean must have or have to. Nakya, this is a casual spoken contraction of nakereba. Daily conversation, texting, informal settings. It sounds like modern and colloquial, okay? Ika nakya, okay, I gotta go. Neba. This is the formal literary or archaic written text, formal speeches, historical dramas, or serious declarations. It sounds heavy, traditional, and stiff. Example, ikaneba, I must go, implying a solemn duty. Dramatic nuance, the truncated effect. In your specific sentence, Sakura-chan no Yushio video ni Osame neba. The speaker likely chose neba over kya for dramatic emphasis, implied consequence, and in the sentence with neba, omitting naranai creates a rhetorical pause. It implies if I don't capture this, the consequences are unthinkable. It would be a crime, or I can't forgive myself. Okay, elevated stakes. Using neba elevates the act of recording a video to a solemn mission or heroic duty. Okay, contrast. If the speaker were using a kya, it would sound like a casual thought. Oh, I should probably film this. Using neba makes it sound like an epic quest. I must capture this magnificent sight. Which is exactly how Tomoyo-chan's personality is. So, why does video, okay, video use ni? Why does video use ni? The particle ni is used with video because, let's see, osameru, to record, to capture, treats the recorded media as the destination or the location where the image is stored, not the direct object being acted upon. Treats the recorded media as the destination. Okay, so you... Okay. In this sentence structure, there are two distinct roles. Direct object. Okay, Yushi, magnificent figure. This is what is being moved or captured. The verb acts directly upon Sakura-chan's figure. Okay, destination, target. This is where the figure is being stored. The action is directed into the video media. You can think of ni as meaning into or onto. The speaker is moving the image of Sakura-chan into the container of the video. Okay, so she's not really talking about using video as like the method of capturing. She's talking about using it as I will capture it and pack it into this place of and push it into this place of video. So in other words, capture it on video. So Sakura-chan no yushi wo video ni osame neba osameru. Transitive, okay, osameru. Sakura-chan no yushi wo video ni osame neba.
さてと、準備 OK ですわ。さくらちゃんの勇姿をビデオに収めねば。ああ。と、準備 OK ですわ。さくらちゃんの勇姿をビデオに収めねば。
Setotachi or students. see. Shutter auto or shutter sound.
さくらちゃん上手になったね。
Sakura-chan Josu Nata ne, or Sakura-chan has become very skillful.
ちゃん上手な。さくらちゃん上手になったね。
ま、昔と比べたらな。
Let's see. Mukashi to something. Mukashi to kura betara. To compare, to make a comparison, to compete, to measure one's strength, ability, etc. against another. Kuraberu. So with a long time ago, let's see, if you compare or when you compare. Let's see, where compared to the old days, anyway. But why is Mukashi in reference with to? Mukashi to, let's see, kuraberu, so kurabetara. Well, let's see. Why is Mukashi using to in comparison more in the phrase Mukashi to kurabetara. Kuraberu, kurabetara. In the phrase Mukashi to kurabetara, compared to the past, the particle to indicates the standard or basis of comparison. It links the object being compared to the past with the verb of comparison, to compare. See, it links the object being compared, the past, with the verb comparison. The construction noun plus to plus kuraberu, to compare, with noun. Okay, when conjugated to the conditional form kurabetara, if or when comparing. To remains the marker for the entity being used as a reference point. Contextual nuance: this sentence likely implies a contrast between the past and the present, or the current situation, highlighting how things have changed. Let's see. Why not use wo Will mark direct object indicates the thing is directly receiving the action of the verb. So, if you say, Mukashi wo kuraberu, you are grammatically implied to compare the past as if the past is the only thing being acted upon or analyzed in isolation. To marks the partner or standard of comparison. When comparing an entity A against B, Japanese use the structures of A wo B to kuraberu. The particle to signifies the counterpart of the baseline used for comparison. Oh, so he didn't say it, but a word for the present like ima or something would be used for wo, and then to say what you're comparing with, you would use to. So you're comparing A with B, or A wo B to kuraberu. Mukashi to kurabetara na.
さくらちゃん上手になったね。
ま、昔と比べたらな。部に入った頃はバトンを放り投げるだろ。まで受けてたぞ。
上手になったね。
ま、昔と比べたらな。部に入った頃は。
Let's see. 部に入った頃は、let's see. Think. 入った。So Boonies, I think, is supposed to be a reference to like a club, but the term when you're talking about a club. So when entered the club, let's see, and then koro is haita koro. Let's see something. Let's see, botan will something. Daro. Let's see. Oh, koro time. Okay. So around the time that she entered the club, okay. So Buni haita koro wa batan wo hiri to throw, to fling, to hurl. Hiru to expel from the body. Okay, I think this is supposed to be boru, so bori nageru. To throw, to hurl, to fling. See, bori nageru, to throw, to toss, to fling. Or is it hori nageru? Oh yeah, hori, yeah. Horu, to throw. And then transitive verb throwing. Transitive verb throwing. So Hori. Explain the difference between Hori or Horu Nageru Nageru and Hori Nageru. Nagaru is the general term for throwing an object with force or precision towards a target, such as pitch or throwing a ball. It implies intent, strength, and aiming at a specific destination. Horu carries a nuance of discarding, neglecting, or throwing carelessly. It is used when tossing something away without aiming, leaving it lying around, or abandoning a task. It is less common. Standard modern Japanese often replaced with suteru or hozu to leave. It has a dialectal variation in Western Japan meaning to throw away. Okay, and then hori nagaru is a compound verb that emphasizes the careless, rough, or haphazard manner of throwing. It is frequently used to describe tossing items like bags or hats onto a surface without care. It is preferred over horu in many contexts because it is easier to pronounce and less likely to be misheard. So, intent. So, nagaru implies aiming and effort. Horu and hori nagaru implies lack of care or abandonment. Let's see. Nagaru is standard verb, okay, for throwing, precise throwing. Horu is archaic in dialect or in many contexts, while hori nagaru is a common colloquial way to express throwing carelessly. Additionally, horu can also mean to abandon. Shigoto no horu, to quit work or to watch over in a specific phrases, whereas nagaru can mean to hand over. Let's see, maru nage, to delegate or to throw away. Okay. So nagaru is throwing with care. Horu is throwing carelessly or discarding. Well, horu is more like throwing as in discarding, and hori nageru is throwing with intention but being careless about it, and essentially so careless or haphazard throwing, essentially. Uni haita koru wa batan wo hori nageru daro. When stating a past event, why use daro instead of da? Let's see. Da asserts something as a fact. If you're guessing or assuming that the past event occurred, he probably you must use da to indicate that level of certainty. Using da would imply you are stating the event as an undeniable present fact, which is grammatically incorrect and for past speculation. Okay. Tense and form. The past tense da is dot da not da do. Okay, so however, data still carries a declarative tone. It was. If you want to say probably or he probably was, you combine the past form speculative suffix data ro, okay, or simply dato. With context implying past speculation. Okay. So Buni ni haita koro wa batan wo hori, okay. Hori nageru daro. Buni haita koro wa batan wo hori nageru daro. Or when she first entered the club, she carelessly threw the baton.
さくらちゃん上手になったね。
ま、昔と比べたらな。部に入った頃はバトンを放り投げるだろ。必ず自分の頭で受けてたぞ。部に入った頃はバトンを放り投げるだろ。必ず自分
必ず自分の
頭で受けてたぞ。バトンを放り投げるだろ。必ず自分の頭で受けてたぞ。
自分頭で OK
必ず自分の頭で受けてたぞ。
受けてたぞ。必ず自分の頭で受けてたぞ。So her own head, guessing that means hit. Kanarazu, always without exception, certainly without fail. So kanarazu, see, 自分の頭で受けてた. Okay. 受ける to receive, to catch, to be struck by. To sustain damage. Okay, so to be struck by in this case. So she would kanarazu, so she would always be continuously struck in the head. Kanarazu jibun no tama de ukete ta zo.
必ず自分の頭で受けてたぞ。俺。
俺。Look, see. Wait, he said hore, not hora. I guess that's. Hoe. Oh, hoe. Is hoe from hora? Hoe is an infantile colloquial contraction of e See, meaning what or huh? Hora as a common interjection meaning look or see. See, I see hoi being used like look, see. Is it a dialect thing? See, hore, a rougher, more masculine variant of hora, often used by older men or in rough speech, meaning here or look. Okay, and I think he might actually be saying hore even though the subtitle says hoe.
必ず自分の頭で受けてたぞ。ほれ。
Oh yeah, the hoe is from her. Okay, so what, huh? Hoe? Okay.
ほれ。
次は午前中の部最後の種目4年
Konnichiwa, Desu Squire. Genki desu ka? How are you? Hoe is just a noise she's making. Yeah, it's sort of like a what noise. Like, huh? What is this? What? What happened? It's Sugiwa. Let's see. Gozen Naka. So let's see. During the morning. Next, during the morning clubs, I assume. Gozen Naka Nobu. Saigo no. So something. Sugiwa Gozen. Gozen. Oh, Gozenchu. Okay, let's see. Gozenchu Nobu. Saigo no Shumoku. Item event. Let's see. So next, as for the next, let's see. During the morning, I guess. Let's see. Gozenchu. In the morning, during the morning, okay. During the morning clubs. Let's see. Last item. Let's see. Next up is the final event of the morning session. Part, portion, region. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't mean clubs here. They're talking about it in the terms of like the morning session. Okay, so section. So next is the let's see, the morning session's final event. Okay, in other words, next up is the final event in the morning session. Sugi wa Gozen chu no bu. Good. That's it. Good. Let's see. What particles are missing from this? Oh, and also, let's see. Hoso Gakari. Also, okay, broadcasting. Broadcast program announcement. Charge duty person in charge. So the person in charge of the broadcasting? Or the broadcaster, essentially? So Sugiwa, let's see how she says it.
俺
次は午前中の部最後の種目4次は
Oh yeah, and this kanji comes from Shimoku, species, kind, class, variety, seed, okay, and then I. And this somehow makes item. So variety same with the I, or item, I guess. I don't know. Shimoku. So Sugi wa Gozenchu no bu Saigo no Shumoku.
必ず自分の頭で受けてたぞ俺
次は午前中の部最後の種目4年次は午
Sugi wa Gozenchu no bu Saigo no Shumoku.
午前中の部最後の種目4年生の障害物競争です
Say Yonensei no something with running from that kanji. Yonensei, so 4th year, and then Shogai Butsu Kyoso. Obstacle race, steeplechase, athletics, obstacle course. I think they're referring to those jumping races. Let's see, the kanji comes from hinder, harm, thing, run. Let's see. Shogai, obstacle, impediment. Does the squire wa? I'm doing okay. Good to see you still at it. Toimashita. Or Dustin Esquire said. Let's see. So Mono and then Kyoso. Race run. So Shogai obstacle thing race. Now this has it translated as Shogai Ibu let's see. Shogai Butsu Kyoso, and she says,
最後の種目、4年生の障害物競争です。
yeah, she says Shogai Butsu Kyoso desu. So in other words, an obstacle race. Yes. So, Yonensei no Shogai Butsu. Let's see, this is Kyoso or race. Kyoso, which comes from compete with and run. Okay, and this comes obstacle. So, hinder and harm. So, Shogai Butsu. Shogai Butsu Kyoso. Shogai Butsu Kyosho. So, Yonensei no Shogai Butsu Kyoso desu, or the 4th year obstacle race.
午前中の部最後の種目、4年生の障害物競争です。数々の難関を突破してゴールを目指す出場者にを突破して
Kazu, many numerous various nankan. Let's see. Barrier obstacles, difficulties, hurdles. Okay. Kazu no nankan. So because of the many barriers, Topashite, breakthrough, penetration, surmounting a difficulty. So because of the numerous, let's see, surmounting the difficulty of the many obstacles. Okay, let's go to, so it's the goal to surpass the many obstacles. So kazu no nankan wo toppa shite goru. Mezasu. See. Mezasu, to aim at, to try for, to go towards. Okay. So to aim for mezasu, then shutsu josha, participants, shutsu josha. I know that last kanji is generally used in some person-based words. So if I take that off, it becomes shutsujo, participation. Shutsujo is participation. So shutsujo sha is a person that participates. So participant, shutsujo-sha. Let's see, this kanji comes from to come out and at a location, aka participate. Shutsujo-sha. Okay, shutsujo-sha. So essentially, it's saying the purpose is for the participants to aim for overcoming the many obstacles. Let's see, the translation says, See, to the competitors who have overcome countless challenges are now heading for the finish. What? That's not what I got in the translation at all. To the competitors who have overcome countless challenges are now heading for the finish line. No, okay, that's a really bad translation. This is probably the purpose knee in here, so... so kazu no nanka o toppashite goal o mezasu shutsujousha ni. Or so kazu no nanka. See, this comes from difficult, impossible, and connection. Or barrier. So a difficult barrier, in other words, an obstacle. See, kazu no nanka wo toppa shite goal o mezasu shutsujousha. So kazu no nanka. Okay, kazu no nanka wo toppa shite goal o mezasu shutsujousha ni.
数々の難関を突破してゴールを目指す出場者に皆さん声援をお願いします。
Minasan, something o onegaishimasu. Oh, it looks like they may actually be doing more like an obstacle course and not one of those little jumping tracks. So Minasano, everybody, saying, okay, shout, encouragement, cheering, rooting, support. So voice and help, or saying, or because encouragement, shouting. So everyone's support. Let's see, to the oh, I see. I probably should listen. This is probably two different sentences right here. There's probably a pause in her voice when she spoke. So right here is a divide. So in other words, to aim for passing the many obstacles, and then everyone please. So the wish for support from everyone to the participants. So, 出場者に皆さん声援をお願いします。They're aiming to finish. Okay. They're aiming for the finish line after overcoming numerous challenges. Oh, that's a two-clause sentence in the first part, so see, go to wait, I may have copied it wrong. Let's see.
種目4年生の障害物競争です。数々 の難関を突破してゴールを目指す出場者に
Okay, there. 数々の難関を突破して目指す okay, ゴールを目指すに so okay, so this is like a clause in the front showing what's going on at the same time as they're aiming for the gold. So as they're aiming for the gold, they're overcoming numerous obstacles, okay? And then 出場者にみんな声援をお願いします。Where everyone please cheer the participants. お願いします coming from お願い or wish. 出場者 So in total, that is so 数々の難関を突破してゴールを目指す出場者に皆さん声援をお願いします。
数々の難関を突破して障害物競争です。 数々の難関を突破してゴールを目指す出場者に皆さん声援をお願いします。出場者に皆さん声援をお願いします。
Let's see. Shout
位置について。位置について。
Let's see. Terada, or his name. Let's see. Iji ni suite. Let's see. Let's see. Ichi. Okay. Place, position, location. So rank, grade, throne, roundabout, and then placement. Put, set, deposit. Place, position. In other words, position yourself. So attach yourself to the position, or in other words, get ready. So ichi ni suite. Or get in position, essentially, as you say in English. So, ichi ni suite.
位置について。
頑張れー。絶対に負けないからな。絶対に
絶対に負けないから。I will absolutely not lose. She 絶対負けないから。So 負ける to lose. So 絶対に負けないから。
絶対に負けないからな。
私だって。Or to be I. So to be I, or to say I think it's trying to say I should be the one saying that. Let's see, to say to be I. Let's see. Yo. Preparation. Yo. So it's sort of like get in position, get set, or in other words, prepare. Yoi. Okay, so preparations. And that's right, this is a phrase that needs the previous sentence for translation. Let's see. What watashi datte, me neither. let's see. Explain the grammar of this, followed by watashi combines a strong declaration of determination with an emphatic assertion of self-worth capability. Together they translate to okay. Say date. This is the versatile particle with two main relevant meanings here. So demo, similar to demo, it implies even someone like me. Okay. It's often used when the speaker feels they are being excluded or underestimated. So to also implying I am in this category as well. In this context, the previous phrase watashi date usually implies even I or I too. It suggests just like the others, the speaker has the ability or the right to participate and win. It often counters an assumption that the speaker is weak or incapable. Combined usage. Let's see. When the two parts are spoken to. No, okay. These lines are spoken by two different people. See, if the lines are spoken by two different people, the grammatical dynamic shifts from a single affirmation to a dialogue of a challenge or retort. See, strong. Okay, so translation: I absolutely won't lose. Okay, and then speaker two, watashi date. The response, often ally or rival or someone previously underestimated. Let's see. Date in this position, it acts as a particle meaning even or two. It implies that the speaker one. It implies the quality speaker one just claimed. Determination, strength, refusal to lose also applies to speaker two as well. Implicit verb. The sentence is technically incomplete. The full thought is watashi date. Zettai ni makenai. Let's see, even I absolutely won't lose, or watashi date gambaru, even I will do my best. No, it rejects exclusion. It implies if speaker one implies I'll handle this, and speaker two, so watashi date means don't leave me out, or I'm not weak either, I feel the same way. Let's see, rivalry. Okay, when split between two speakers, the exchange creates a shared resolvable rivalry. Let's see. So speaker one, I absolutely won't lose. Speaker two, even I won't lose. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. So, isn't the second speaker saying, I should be the one saying that? Doesn't the sute come from Toyu? So isn't the speaker saying I should be the one saying that? Doesn't the sute come in from Toyu? No, watashi datte does not mean I should be the one saying that, nor does the sute come from toiyu. In this context, datte is not a quotation marker, it is a combination of the particle de plus sute. Okay, function as an emphatic particle meaning even or two also. So even I or I also two. Okay, it implies that the quality mention of the first speaker not losing determination applies to the second speaker, often countering an assumption that they are weak or excluded. Correct interpreted. Speaker 2 is saying even I won't lose, or I'm in this too. Okay, why not I should? Okay, why not I should be the one saying that? To express I should be the one saying that, the speaker would typically say, それは私が言うべきことだ or それはこちらのセリフだ or that's my line. Okay. Origin of the sute and date. The sute and date does not come from toiyu. Etymologically, date is historically a contraction of de wa atte. Or simply that's okay. Oh, so is this so this is the copula de? Is this the copula da in connective form? No, date in watashi date is not the copula da in connective form. Here it is. See, the connective form, te form of the copula da is. Oh yeah, that's right, dad. Okay, so date has nothing to do with the copula and just comes from de. Okay, comes from dewa ate. So, which is basically, so being I and then have. So I have that or have. So in other words, that exists for me as well, I guess. See, dewa is usually used for. Let's see. Ganai is used for talking about existence. Well, dewa nai is used for identification. But here we're using dewa. Well, so have to be. So in other words, identification, I guess, of what you have. So in this case, so I also have that, I guess. So dewa ate, or date as it said. So watashi date, me neither. Okay. そう、絶対負けないからな。
絶対に負けないからな。
私だって。
よ
よい。
私だって。
ーいよーい
So this sort of gets used like ready, set, go. This yoi. Okay, so go ho or signal gun. So cannon and then name, item, title. Okay.
絶対に負けないからな。
私だって。
よーい
Set, okay, let's see. Something knows something. Spectator audience. Kankyaku. Made from outlook, appearance, condition, and guess. So a looking guest would be a spectator. Okay, kankyaku. Oh, this is the same kyak as in okyak-sama. So so a looking guest is a kankyaku. Okyak-sama. Okay, and this Hime, okay, shriek, scream, so grieve, sad, deplore, and then chirp, cry, bark, okay. So it's like a cry of sadness, aka a shriek or scream. Hime. So the audience screaming, Kankyaku no Hime. Kankyaku no Hime. Seto Hachi. As Seto.
さくらちゃんとりーくんだけになってしまいましたわ。
See, Sakura-chan to Lee-kun dake ni, okay, natte shimaimashita wa. So it has ended up becoming just Lee and Sakura. So Sakura-chan to Lee-kun dake ni natte shimaimashita wa.
さくらちゃんとりーくんだけになってしまいましたわ。ともよちゃんのお母さんまだ？
Tomoyo-chan no Okasan Mara. So, is Tomoyo-chan's mother still not here? Or is Tomoyo-chan's mother not here yet?
ともよちゃんのお母さんまだ？え？ もうすぐだと思うんですが、じゃあ私たちと一緒にもうすぐだと思うんですが。
もうすぐだと思うんですが。So, yes, let's see. I thought shortly. So, yes, I thought shortly. I thought it would be any moment now. Let's see. Yeah, yes, I think she'll be here soon. もうすぐだと思うんですが。Soon, shortly. Okay. Mosugu. So this kanji comes from, like, mo is just the already mo. And this sugu is immediately. So already immediately, in other words, very soon. Shortly. At once, right away. Mosugu to omon desu ka?
ともよちゃんのお母さんまだ？もうすぐだと思うんですが、じゃあ私たちと一緒にお昼食べよう。
じゃあ、私たちと一緒にお昼食べよう。So, well, shall we, can we eat lunch together, or can, see, can we eat lunch together, or in other words, so with shall we all eat, essentially, lunch? So, じゃあ、私たちと、一緒にお昼食べよう。You notice they dropped the oo letter out of this because she just didn't pronounce it, and this commonly gets dropped in casual speech. And this would normally have a particle wool in between it, but it's also casual speech, so dropped. じゃあ、私たちと一緒にお昼食べよう。
ともよちゃんのお母さんまだ？もうすぐだと思うんですが、じゃあ私たちと一緒にお昼食べよう。よろしいんですか？家族の団らんにお邪魔して。すぐだと思うんですが、じゃあ私たちと一緒にお昼食べよう。よろしいんですか？
よろしいんですか？よろ Okay, so Yoroshi, Yoroshin desu ka? Is that good? Let's see. Kazuku no something ni jamashite? Let's see.
よろしいんですか？家族の団らんにお邪魔してと一緒にお昼食べよう。よろしいんですか？家族の団らんに
Kazuku no nanaran. Let's see. Yoroshin desu ka? Let's see. Kazuku no danran, sitting together in a circle, happy circle harmony danran. Group association. Danan, okay. China berry tree, round, harmonious. So group and harmonious. In other words, sitting together as a group, dandan, in a circle. Dandan ni ojama shite, hindrance. So kazoku. So let's see, is that good? Would it be a hindrance if we sat together in a circle? Okay. It's translating that is that okay? I don't want to interrupt your family time. Let's see.
んですが、じゃあ私たちお母さんまだ？もうすぐだと思うんですが。じゃあ私たちと一緒にお昼食べよう。よろしいんですか？家族の団らんにお邪魔して。
Let's see. So this is translating as family time. Danan. Let's see. Explain the grammar of this. Let's see. Uroshin desu ka? It's applied explanatory question meaning is that okay? Is it alright? Okay. Second point is Kazoku no danan ni ojamashite uses the humble verb ojamasuru, meaning to intrude, to visit. Okay. The te form connects this action to subsequent implied request or statement, or may I join your family gathering, or I've joined your family, or I've joined your family. Let's see. Ojama suru is a standard humble expression used when entering someone's home or space, showing respect to the host. Or as you see here in animes, since it is trying to be polite, ojamasimasu. In this context, this likely appears to be sentence-like. Is it okay? May I join your family gathering? Let's see. Oh, that's why they're translating as interrupting your family time. So it's a family gathering, and for some reason the translators translated it as family time. But so in other words, more literally, she's saying, I don't want to interrupt your family sitting in a circle. Or in other words, I don't want essentially having lunch together. So, yoroshin desu ka? Kazoku, see, danran. Yoroshin desu ka? Kazoku no danran ni ojamashite.
じゃあ私たちと一緒にお昼食べよう。よろしいんですか？家族の団らんにお邪魔して。もちろんみんなで食べた方が美味しいよ。
もちろん、みんなで食べて、方が美味しいよ。So, もちろん is like, of course. It's the adverb, of course, certainly, naturally, and it comes from the kanji. Not, must not, do not, be not, and then argument discourse. So don't argue, in other words, of course. So it's something that's realized without an argument. In other words, it's obvious, of course, essentially. Mochiron. Mochiran. So naturally, certainly. Okay. Mina de. So in the context of in the way of everyone eating, so mina de tapete ho ga oishii. Okay, this is the second definition, and I had a feeling this had nothing to do with the taste of the food. Is more appealing, essentially favorable. So in other words, we're not talking about good taste in food. We're saying that this is more desirable. So, in the way of everyone eating is more desirable, or it's better, essentially. So, もちろんみんなで食べた方がおいしいよ。
にお邪魔して。もちろんみんなで食べた方が美味しいよ。いいんですか？家族の団らんにお邪魔して。もちろん。
質問がありますか? Are there any questions? If there's no questions, then we're going to raid, so please stick around for that. Okay, the first raid is going to be to Hillary Studies With Me study stream. Okay, the next person we're going to raid is Yo Yo Yo, who is currently studying Korean. Oh, okay, that's the description. Yeah, Absolute Hokage, studying Korean. Let's see, and the next person we're going to raid is... We're going to raid The Dawn of Everything, who's playing Neo 1 Remastered. Minasan, okiyotsukete, mata ashita. Goodbye everyone, see you tomorrow.